All right, everybody, welcome to part two of the top Sega Master System games, in my opinion, from 1985 to 1986. My name is Matt, and this is the Gaming Corner. Now, we are going to go over the list of what I consider to be my recommended or top games or my favorite games, however you want to phrase it. These are the games I like the most from that era. So, without further ado, let's get started at number 7, because there are 7 games to go over. The first one is Black Belt. Black Belt is one heck of a great beat 'em up game. This is, from what I know, it's based off of the Fist of the North Star type stuff. And it does have a very simple, enemies constantly repeating themselves type idea. It was an 8-bit game, so what do you expect? The boss fights are insane. You also get a bunch of mini bosses, then you get the big boss fight. And it is a lot of fun. This is one of the games that I beat very early on in the Master System because it is a lot of fun. And it is one that I would definitely recommend getting and trying if you own a Master System. The number 6 game in the list. Now this is one that, it's a sports game. I find it very relaxing. It's very fun to play. It's easy to pick up and play. And it is a Sega card game. And it is Super Tennis. Super Tennis is a very fun game to play. It's very easy. Not that hard. And it's a lot of fun. And like I said, it is very relaxing to play. Nothing too hard about it. Just hit the ball back and forth and try to win a game. It's a lot of fun. Graphics are pretty good. The sound effects are pretty good. I got no complaints on this game. I love playing it. And yeah, this is one that I recommend if you just want something that's kind of relaxing to do. 5th game in the list that we're going to be looking at is a dual cartridge game. So there's 2 games in one on it. This is not the one I got with my Master System. There was a different one about it, which I'll bring up in just a minute. But this game is Hang On and Astro Warrior. Now, both games, Hang On is an awesome racing game on the Master System. It took me until last year to actually finally beat Hang On. Just because I have no clue on why. It just took me until last year. Hang On is definitely very close to the arcade game. At least in my opinion. It scrolls really well, looks really good. Then Astro Warrior, being a shoot 'em up game, is a blast to play. I've gotten pretty far in Astro Warrior, still have not beat it, but one of these days I definitely will because it's on my list of games I want to beat. All right, we're down to 4 games. Now this game I didn't even know about until I started chasing down the complete North American Sega Master System collection. And this is one hell of a racing game. It is World Grand Prix. This game I find to be great. If you are ever a fan of the old arcade game known as Pit Stop, this game is going to remind you a lot of it. It's very familiar, looks very much like Pit Stop, plays like Pit Stop in my opinion, and it is just a blast. It's a great racing game. You have a certain time limit to get to the end of each track. And if you get to the end, you go on to the next one. There are 16 courses altogether. I've only been through 3 of them so far. But this has been one hell of a great racing game on the Master System. The next game I'm going to talk about here. This is also one of those games that is definitely better 2-player. But it is Rambo First Blood. This game, even when you're playing by yourself, it's a lot of fun. But it is definitely better 2 players. 2 players just makes the game a lot more fun. Me and a buddy back when I was younger, we beat this game several times. But the game itself is a blast to play. Single player or double player, it's perfect. This is one that you shouldn't pass on this one. So this is one of my definitely top recommended games. That's going to leave us with 2 final games. The first one is one of the reasons why I wanted the Master System. I love the Master System version of this game. It does have some funky things when you're blowing up the aliens when you can see the square around them for how the pixels were set up, but it's still well worth it. And it's never had an official port really to the Genesis or anything like that. It didn't get an official port to anything else, I think, until the Saturn. Uh-oh, here come Ducky.
Nothing's had an official port. Not even Cat Attack. Do. Flying cat.
Flying cat, really? Hey, duck, duck. Hey,
Flying
duck,
cat.
Hey, Ducky. Yeah, Ducky, Ducky. Gotta get Ducky closer now, huh?
Say hello. It is the cat.
He's like, I want down, damn it. I don't want to be up here. I'm going to go step on his computer stuff.
All right, now stop his recording.
He's probably going to. Where are you going? Are you going to stand on the keyboard or are you going to move? He's like, how do I get off from underneath here? Come here, big guy. Come here. Never mind. Just step on everything. Did you stop it?
Come on, buddy.
Nope, you didn't stop it.
You think we can jump that far? Come on.
He's going to. Woo! All right. I forgot where I was now.
Something about the old system, something games, something, cookies.
Cookies. Okay, we're on cookies now.
Yes. Clear your cookies, people. Yeah!
This is what happens when you have 5 kids.
Thank you. Better than the Olympics, Australia? You never seen that?
No.
Oh my god, after this, I'm going to have to show you the breakdancing Australian lady.
Game number 2. This is the game that, well, this is one of the games that really made me want the Sega Master System when I was a young kid. It's an arcade port. It is, at the time, this was the only arcade port you could find of the game. It didn't show up anywhere else. The Genesis never got this port. It got a sequel, which isn't as good, but this game is pretty awesome. It does have, when you're watching the aliens blow up in this game, you can see the square pixel idea that Sega was using for it, so that makes it kind of interesting. But the game is Space Harrier. Space Harrier is one of Sega's massive super scalar games in the arcade. So the Master System couldn't do super scaling, but what it does do here and the way the game plays, it is incredible. Yes, you might be able to see some frame rates, you might be able to count them as they're moving or whatever. When you're playing the game, you don't really see that though. You're just having fun. Like I said, when you watch the aliens blow up, you know, you can see the square idea for where the pixel was, for how the pixels were done back then. And Space Harrier didn't get a proper arcade port until the Sega Ages line came out on the Sega Saturn. So this is one game that made me want to buy the Master System and made me go for Sega as the main gaming company that I wanted to follow. That will leave us with the last game. Now, I don't know if this game was ever an arcade game. I do remember playing this game, not this exact version of the game, but a very good early copy of it on, I believe it was my Apple IIe. I mean, I'm old school computer when I'm talking about the old Apples. But this game, when I found it on a Master System, was a must-buy, and damn do I love playing it. And it is Choplifter. Choplifter has always been a blast to play, the original. There is one on the Sega SG-1000, which was Japan only. And that one looks a little closer to what I remember playing, because it was just, the old Apple IIe computers were just a green screen basically. You had white and green basically was the only colors you really had type idea. So I remember playing Choplifter back on that. So when I got on the Master System and I realized there were more rounds than what I was used to, that was killer. I've never made it past round 3 in the Master System one because I always die there. But this game, the sound effects, the art style, everything is just well worth the money. Choplifter is probably one of my top favorite Master System games of all time. There is, I know, one that beats it, but this is one that I play constantly. All right, so there you go. Those are my 7 top games, or recommended games, or favorite games, or however you want to phrase it, from the Sega Master System between 1985 and 1986. So stay tuned for part 3 of this video when I move over to the Sega Master System part 3, which will be going through 1987. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.